want to go 500? 500? Sure, go ahead. 5 and 1, anyone? 550. I have 500 here. 550. 550. Take a taxi. What are your thoughts? Do you want to go 5? The stars of Storage Wars and where they are now. Stars of Storage Wars have been bidding on empty boxes for years. Their lives now look like they've given up. One star lost everything after having 2 heart attacks. Someone else was arrested for assaulting a partner. A third almost died in a motorbike accident. Some used their fame from TV to drive delivery trucks. Others built secret businesses worth a lot of money. Why did these reality stars do what they did? The truth is scarier than any episode they ever made. Daryl Sheets. That's what people called Daryl Sheets on Storage Wars. The gambler. He was always looking for big wins and taking big risks. His real life became even more wild after he left the show in 2017. Fans had seen on TV or in movies. Behind the scenes, it all began in silence. 3 months in the beginning of 2019, Daryl had been having a bad mood. He didn't tell anyone until his body finally gave out. He had 2 heart attacks instead of 1. His 60th birthday brought him a fight for his life, which was much worse than a bad storage unit. The report was very harsh: heart failure with fluid buildup and major lung problems. That was right after he used Nutrisystem to lose 100 pounds. He felt like he was getting better. He thought things were getting better. The outside was fixed, but the inside broke down right after. There could not have been a worse time. Daryl had no choice but to quit the sale business for good. He had lived that way for more than 30 years. Now, he wrote an honest Instagram post from a hospital bed. He told his friends that he had a small heart attack. He told them about the illness that was kept a secret, the emergency surgery, and the scary truth that he was facing. He said that the event changed everything. He had to rethink his whole life after that, and things kept going wrong for him. When Daryl had a health scare, his fiancée Romney Snyder was there for him. While they were together during his illness, the love that helped him through it didn't last. By 2022, it was over, and it wasn't over gently. When a friend talked about Romney on social media, Daryl had a mean response. He said, "Those were some of the worst years of my life." Then there was a surprise turn of events. He broke up with Kimber Werfel and got back together with her. They got a divorce in 2016, but by 2021 it had been 10 years since they were married. Daryl wrote sweet things about them online and said they were just 2 kids enjoying being together. It was never proven that they were formally married again, but they looked like a couple again. Daryl found peace in a place he had left behind after years of chaos, and that peace didn't just cover his love life. He went to Arizona's Lake Havasu City. California, the storage units and the cameras were the things he left behind. He began over, and there was no more betting on dirty trunks. He started a small business instead called Show Me Your Junk, where he buys and sells trinkets and other things that catch his eye. But it's not like the wild place he used to live. Daryl used to be the person who could get 4 Picassos in a row, the person who once found the most valuable collection of comic books in the world. Now he's a man who writes and posts quiet pictures from the lake because he loves life. He spends his days with Patty Rich, his new girlfriend. Aside from restaurants, she owns farms. It's a different and calmer world, one that is quiet. The place where Daryl is now seems better for him than the chaos. Hi, Barry Weiss. Chaos was never a part of Barry Weiss. He always took money in. Strange. Okay, not the same. He quit Storage Wars in 2013 when it was still a big deal. He didn't care about the money and fame, but most people would have stayed. He meant to quit while he was ahead. He was ready to return to what he termed as professional slacking off. Everyone was shocked by Barry's choice, but he wasn't done with TV yet. He released Buried Treasure in 2014. There were only 8 shows. He came back the next year with Barry Strikes Back, which ran for 10 episodes. Barry didn't come back into the public eye until something bad happened. Barry was riding his motorbike with a friend in Los Angeles in April 2019. A car hit them. The crash was very bad. Barry got hurt really badly. His legs and chest were hurt. He had several surgeries and spent days in the intensive care unit, ICU. It was almost true. Fans were shocked. Friends like Jamie, who wrote from the hospital, sent updates. Barry was in pain in more ways than one. He saw everything differently after this. His fame, how he lives, and what's to come for him. When Barry got better, he did something strange. He didn't watch reality TV again. He did not go back to the sale. He became the face of Sherwood Valley Casino instead. He also began doing voiceover work to help sell casinos all over Northern California. It wasn't just a gig, it was a new start. After almost dying, Barry used what he learned to start a whole new life. Calvin Ivey. Calvin wasn't just another character on Storage Wars. His real journey started when the cameras stopped rolling. Real-life TV fame helped him build something bigger and stronger. His first business was renting out storage units. The next year, he opened his own thrift store called Grandma's Attic. It wasn't like other used goods stores. Almost every day, this place was open from 10 a.m. to midnight, and sometimes even until 3 a.m. People loved going to his store because of the way it was graded. A lot of people came in. Things came in and left the shelves as quickly as they came in. It was already 2012 when Ivey joined Storage Wars, but he had already built a major business company, and after a few years, all of his hard work paid off. His wealth grew to about $1,500,000, 0 cents, because of the show and the money he made from Grandma's Attic. It was a big deal every weekend at the shop. Every Saturday and Sunday, people had yard sales, giving away rare show finds. People from all over California came to get a piece of it, both fans and people looking for deals. It wasn't just luck, though. Ivey had a plan. He didn't just wait for sales in his area. He went on trips whenever he had to in order to find deals. Having been in the business for 16 years, he was almost impossible to fool. Some people at sales tried to trick people's minds, but Ivey kept her cool and planned ahead. Plus, he knew how to make people talk. The store's Facebook page wasn't just for fun, it was used for business. He used it to keep people interested, tell them about events, and show off new things. Ivey was working on something behind the scenes that would run all day and night. Just as much thought went into things at home. Ivey married Wendy in 2014, and the two of them raised their 2 kids, Ivey Jr. and Isaiah. It wasn't just about family parties and trips, though. Ivey got his boys to work for him. During season 13, both boys were on Storage Wars. He even let them get the best deals on storage units. It wasn't just faith. They were also trained. He was getting them ready to take over. Outside of filming, they spent a lot of time having fun in nature. Trips to hunt and fish turned into more than just hobbies. They were times to bond. They taught the boys how to be patient, keep going, and work together. Values that Ivey had always stuck to. The lessons learned in the woods were similar to the lessons learned in business. Ivey thought both would be easy for his boys. But Ivey's life was very different before all of this. He played football for the San Jose SaberCats in 1995. In just 7 games, he ran for 75 yards, scored a touchdown, caught a few passes, and picked off 4 balls. After a while, he even tried MMA. He thought differently, competed better, and stayed tough when things got tough because of those games. That mental toughness showed up in every business deal he made and every choice he made. Ivey never let the attention get too much, even though he was famous. He does post about cool things like Baby Yoda products and Star Wars collectibles, but he doesn't go on and on. Wendy, his wife, stays out of the public eye. The only time she really showed up in public was at the Reality Wanted Awards with him in 2014. That's it. Everything else was kept secret. Ivey knew what fame could do. He picked to stay in charge. Dave Hester did something very different after Storage Wars, and in 2012 he sued A&E for $3,750,000, 0 cents, which turned the reality TV world on its head. His charges were explosive. Dave says that producers put expensive things in storage boxes to make the drama seem real. As an example, there was a locker full of newspapers that said Elvis Presley had died. Dave said it was worth more than $90,000, 0 cents, but he only paid $750, 0 cents for it, and he didn't think it was a mistake. He said that everything was being staged, even expensive cars and whole lockers full of treasure. Even worse, he said they were helping other buyers win auctions they usually couldn't afford by giving them money. Dave fought back and said it felt wrong, so they fired him right away. He said he couldn't be a part of something fake, so he sued them. Things didn't look good at first. In 2013, the claims were thrown out by a judge. But by September, a different judge had let the wrongful firing part of the case go forward. The case went on for almost 2 years before it was finally settled in 2014. No one knows the exact words, but A&E stuck to their point of view. They never put on a show. Dave stopped being on TV after the fight was over, but he didn't stop going to sales. He didn't try to get more famous. Instead, he went back to school. He set up bids for real storage units all over California. Only the sound of an auctioneer calling out bids can be heard. There are no cameras or catchphrases. He held a big event in San Luis Obispo in 2023 with more than 75 houses on the block. A lot of people there didn't even know who he was, or if they did, they didn't talk about his time on TV. The real world wasn't as exciting though. Dave had a lot of trouble in 2020. After the fact, Public Storage told him that the storage room should never have been sold, even though he paid almost $12,000, 0 cents. The system didn't update because the first renter had already paid their bill. Dave fought back and said he would take the unit or get his money back. Public Storage turned us down. The case went to court. Dave not only lost the unit but also the money and the law fees. It was a terrible hit for someone who was trying to get back on their feet after TV. Dave didn't say anything about his personal life during the whole thing. He got married to Donna Hester, but no one knows how they met. Their son is private though. Dave made an easy choice. He wanted peace after all the trouble that came with being famous on TV. The Hesters didn't make their lives happy. They didn't try to get deals on social media. They thought about home, privacy, and keeping things the same. There is Brandy Passante and Jared Schultz. A long time ago, Brandy Passante and Jared Schultz were seen as the power pair of reality TV. For years, fans watched them fight, laugh, and rush through dirty storage units on Storage Wars. But after the cameras stopped rolling, things changed in a way that no one saw coming. Brandy made a choice that would change her life after the 12th season finished in 2018. She broke up with Jared after a long time, but she didn't say anything about it. No one knew they were no longer together for almost 3 years. Then, when the show came back in April 2021, the truth came out. In the future, Brandy said that connection was a tough one. Fans were shocked when she said she had forgotten who she was for a long time. Her life wasn't what it seemed like on the outside. When April 2021 came around, things got even worse. In that month, she met Jared in Orange County at a bar.